Welcome to another episode of Just More Fix. This is James. With me in this episode is Kurt, Greg, Carrie, Lacey, and Lee.
Hey.
You can find us online at justmorefix.com or on Twitter at justmorefix. If you like us, you can support us at Patreon, and you should give us a rating and review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you find us at. This is our birthday episode.
There we go.
All right.
I'm Chris from All Things Good and Nerdy, a proud member of the Good and Geek Network, just like the show you're listening to right now. The opinions expressed are those of the individual hosts. Make sure you check out all the other great podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready, because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Just More Fix. Couple quick announcements. First, if you're in the Terre Haute area, again, we'll be at Game on South 7th on the 21st of July from 5 to 9 running games, and we'll also be at the Warzone in Mattoon, Illinois on the 26th, same time from 5 to 9 running indie RPGs. So if you are in the area and you want to come play games with us, come check us out.
Or if you want to make the trek from wherever you are in the world.
Just do it.
True story. Also, Gen Con is coming up, and Lacey is running Bedlam Hall at Contessa on Thursday morning.
That's right. So you should buy tickets to my game.
And that's at 10?
It's Thursday from 10 to 12.
Also, none of the game, I didn't get around to submitting my games in time because I'm lazy and kind of busy. I don't know, whatever. But we are, I think, going to try and put some games together while we're at Gen Con. So if you follow us on Twitter or join our Facebook group, we're going to be posting some games there that we're going to run, I think, during the week. And so if you want to come game with us, join there and check things out, and hopefully we can sit down and play some games with you guys.
Flash game mob.
Going rogue.
Flash game mob. I like that. That'd be like 50 people descend on the mall and just play RPGs. That would be fun. All right, so for those of you that don't know, July 12th is an amazing, auspicious day. It might be the best day of the year.
It is one of the best days, yeah.
Great. So
For some people.
I think for most people,
not
actually.
even most. I think for the entire world, it is the best day of the year because it is, in fact, mine and Kurt's birthday.
Yay.
So
Yeah.
Woo!
Wait, hold on. Here it comes.
I soft pitched that one in there, and you're like holding it in your hand like,
I
Well, you can fix the delay in post, okay?
You know how to edit out those blank
Birthday.
Shut up.
spots. So we got noisemakers, but I forgot how to use it.
So Carrie suggested
That we do a birthday episode. And I was like, what games do we want? What games do we want to play in? I mean, what do you want to do on your birthday? So we are going to talk about what we want to play, what we want to run, and what we want to get. Like presents. Everybody wants presents. And cake.
And cake. Yes.
of the German chocolate variety.
What do you feel
And
is
spice
the
cake.
best cake to represent Dungeons and Dragons?
An extremely complicated recipe with too many books.
Something that takes forever to cut, okay? And get ready.
It's got nuts in it.
All day to bake.
Hopefully it doesn't
It'd be very
take
crunchy, yeah.
that. You don't have to calculate THACO to cut the cake because that would be terrible.
It's a Texas sheet cake.
Why don't we start off with non-RPGs first, and then
Huh?
What? I'm not ready. I didn't study.
no, that would include like board games or any other kind of non-RPG
okay.
game, and then we'll finish with RPGs.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'll go first. I'll start. So my first one is a game that Lee and Carrie actually got me for my birthday. It is a lot of fun. It's called Lucidity, and it's a dice game. And unfortunately, most dice games kind of degenerate for me down into like Cthulhu Yahtzee or something of that sort because they're pretty simplified or whatever. But Lucidity is a very cool dice game, and it's got different colors and complexity and strategy. So it's a really cool, fun game to check out, and I have a lot of fun playing it. And it's just a different style of dice game. Plus that, who doesn't like more dice?
It has really lovely artwork, too.
Yeah. The other board game that I'm super excited for that I actually kickstarted is the expansion to Black Orchestra.
Oh, great.
So
Now you cannot win even more.
So Black Orchestra is a game that takes place in Germany in World War II, and you're trying to assassinate Hitler, and they have put out an expansion to it.
So frustrating. It's a fun game. Don't get me wrong. I loved it, but it's so frustrating.
Yeah, it is very, very cool, and there's more characters, and I think they've got some additional scenarios for it or whatever, so it looks very cool, and I'm super excited for it. So
More ways not to
if
win.
it's still on Kickstarter, so you can Google it on Kickstarter. It's Black Orchestra, and you should fund it so we can meet more stretch goals and get more cool stuff because it's a wicked awesome game.
if you don't already have the core game, that's actually one of the backer levels. You can get the core game plus the conspirator packs. So
Conspirator packs.
Yeah,
there you go.
so awesome.
Okay, for me, I got for a birthday, I got story cubes, which aren't all that terribly interesting because they've been around forever. However, for what we're going to use them for, they're going to be very cool. One of our teachers at the high school, which you may have heard in a previous episode, Taylor, has a creative writing class, and I'm going to collaborate with her on doing storytelling. And we are going to do, because one of the things is extemporaneously writing something. How to come up with things. We're going to go through, like, ever see that thing floating around the internet, the 20 big RPG plots?
Never
You
heard
know.
of it.
Okay. So there's this thing called the internet, and there's stuff on it. And we're going to roll through some of those, what are the basic plots? And so we're just going to go through those different storytelling styles. And so story cubes, I got something called, and I keep forgetting the name. It's Tesoro of the Seas.
I was close.
Keep
Oh,
wanting
the
to
board
say-
game?
Yeah, I got that from
TS
Melissa
Laura.
when we were in some town somewhere, and it looked cool. There was a dragon one, and then there was a ship one. I got the ship one, but I always regretted not getting the dragon one, but I like the ship one too. And
I bid on that at Hoosier Con and didn't get it, and I was kind of bummed.
okay, I've got it. For some reason, I didn't bring it because it's still packed with our stuff from the Tennessee
okay.
vacation.
Next time you come by, bring it,
Next
we'll
time I'm
play.
going to bring it, and that looked pretty cool.
Right. The only thing new that I would like to play that I've gotten in, I don't know, it was either my birthday or Christmas. Both are in December, so who knows, was Risk Europe. And I know I'm kind of in the minority here on loving Risk still.
Yes, you are.
Hey, I don't care. Which is also probably why I haven't gotten to play the game yet. But the new mechanics and some of the other rules look pretty interesting.
There's a legacy Risk that I actually would kind of like to try out because we've got a couple legacy games now. I think I've changed my mind about them, and they're fun, and I like the idea of trying to see how it would go and the changes to how the gameplay works or whatever. So
Yeah, there's
a Risk that I would try.
I think you should
I'm not
check
morally-
out Risk Europe.
I'm not morally opposed to it. So yeah.
Are there cards that let you give your enemies the Black Plague?
I don't think so, but that
Is it
sounds
like medieval Europe or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my problem. I felt like you needed natural disaster or like godly intervention cards in Risk, and that would just make things more exciting.
Divine
I'm pretty
intervention.
sure we had house rules for that when we were kids, but I could be mistaken.
Every so often, I just need you to kill 1/6 of your population.
be fine, but only in the summer. As a side note, that was Tsuro, Tesoro of the Seas. I'm not quite sure exactly how to pronounce
Soro,
it.
like tsunami.
Soro?
You don't pronounce the T.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
think about
yeah,
that.
see, I don't know. So,
Yeah. There's more logic in yours than mine.
yeah, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going with that. Yeah.
Tsunami, although we may just be pronouncing it wrong like we do a lot of other words that get brought into Americas.
American.
Carrie?
So the first thing we're doing is stuff we want to get that isn't an RPG.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I would like is Time Stories because I got it for someone at the table. And I didn't think I liked it that much, except then for like 2 weeks after, I wanted to recreate the experience and I couldn't at home because I don't have it. So I would like that. Any extra dice? And then what's that website where you got Lacey's like bag?
Bag.
The-
Which
is it
bag?
Geek Shaker?
Oh, that's Think Geek.
Think Geek. Anything from Think Geek that I can wear to Gen Con so I look more legit. Like a dress, a
You gotta
purse,
have the
a
right
bag.
swag.
I don't
Yeah.
care. I want it. A t-shirt. Just go there and get me something.
So I got Time Stories, and it is amazing.
It is pretty cool.
It is awesome. So we've played through a couple, I think 3 of the expansions, and our gaming store may have had a sale, and I may have a problem. And so I accumulated all of the rest of the expansions they had at the store.
It's not a problem as long as you don't deny that you bought them.
So I'm going to be working on playing my way through those. One of those is a special, like, adult content one. Yeah.
It's like a 70s film one of some... That's the theme or whatever, so...
Okay. More of adulty nature.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
mature.
And the March
Mature
case.
viewing.
Oh, we got Black Plague Zombicide, which is really pretty much just like Zombicide, but set in a different era. And now there's plastic counter things, which make things nicer for your character sheet, and you can.
There's
store
some
all
changes
the
to the
pegs
rules,
and
too, the way
stuff.
things work. I like it better than
It's
regular
not a lot
Zombicide.
different, though.
Well, the way the damage system works is pretty significant change.
It's not.
You don't drop stuff when you take damage.
Throw down.
You get four health instead of...
2.
In paper, rock, scissors mode. If we're
Well,
gonna fight
people
this
were
out.
tougher back then. Yeah.
True story right there. Much,
Yeah.
much more hardy.
You,
Much more
you
harder.
can tell by the average age of death being significantly lower. So much more hardy, living to
Yeah.
50.
They lived
50.
harder lives. That was like Papa. Like Grandpa Moses was 50.
By the time my birthday rolls around again, the next Fallout game will be out. I definitely want that. And there's also a video game called Lichdom Battle Mage, which sounds terrible. All the reviews say it's just grinding, but they have a really cool magic system. And
What?
I want to look
When
at
you
it.
say grinding, I think like 90s dancing in the club. I don't know what you're actually
I don't know what you're talking about.
But
He's
you
referring to
just
like
go through and
Diablo,
kill things,
basically.
yeah.
I love Diablo.
But it apparently had a really cool magic system, and I like all things magic.
Okay.
I really want a Nintendo Switch.
I entered to win one
Speaking
because
of
Prime Day
video
is coming
games.
up.
It's just fun. I like Nintendo. I don't know.
I just want to play the original Zelda. That's really what I'm after.
Yeah.
Might be able to look that up.
I miss it. I want a Nintendo Classic, but they're impossible to find. So
Just buy a Super Nintendo.
because it's not on Super Nintendo, it's the OG of Zeldas.
Or just buy a Nintendo.
I spent way
I
too much
actually
time
have
playing
the
that
game.
back in the
We
day.
have the game.
We have the game.
The
We
gold
don't
one.
have the system.
Sad.
System or three.
You know what?
Oh my
we should
gosh.
get together sometime, guys. Like in a designated time and place.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
You bring your cartridge, he'll bring the box.
I'll blow on it.
Stick
I'll
it
blow
right in.
James will do the blowing.
Well then.
That is what we want to get that wasn't
we got-
an RPG.
Well, or just in general. So there's some cool ideas for things for you guys to check out there for some if you're looking for new games that aren't RPG. But when it comes to RPGs, I don't have one. I'll start off with just one of mine because I don't know what the other ones would be. But when it comes to running, I really want to get back to running to Genesis.
Good. So do the rest of us.
We want you to get back to running.
I know.
That too.
Or Dust.
Or anything.
Orpheus.
Orpheus. Yeah, you know what? That Orpheus
Actually, I
game we
have a
started
list
of
10 years ago.
Now listen, I told you
10 years ago.
when I got the Wraith 20 book, I would start Orpheus again, and I still don't have the Wraith 20 book.
My daughter was a toddler. She's a teenager down there now, and I'm waiting to finish the story.
And, the Wraith curse happened, and I still don't have Wraith 20 in my hands. I will have the 5th edition of Vampire before I will have Wraith 20, which is some bizarro
Playing
world
this in
that
the
we live in.
retirement home by the time
It's okay.
Are we gonna all live in the same retirement home?
Wow.
I just got really excited about going to a nursing home.
I was going to call it a commune, but
I thought that's where we were at.
we need more micro houses.
All right, so the Genesis is the first on the list for me to run. I really like the game. The artwork is way cool, and I love the world and the theme, and it's so very different and its own thing. And there are very few settings that I've seen here recently that are not just sort of like a different iteration of something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just very distinctly its own thing. So I would like to get back to it.
I'll tell you what, I would like to, run. Honestly, I have not played or run Delta Green in probably years. Okay, the Call of Cthulhu thing, I think maybe I overdid it, maybe we overdid it, maybe we overdosed, I'm not sure.
I haven't. Give me
Okay,
more.
maybe it was just me, but Fall of Delta Green was out, and I went back and looked through Countdown and all my old books, and I'm just like, see, I love to play it with a hefty dose of, if it's modern, of X-Files still thrown in there, because that's just kind of like how I am. And I would love to run that again. And then One Ring, I like that setting. I know it, not perfect. There's obviously people know it better than I do, but I think I know it well enough to run it, and I enjoyed it. I'd love to get back to running those too, and that's my list is short. It's short.
We were talking about games, like when we were putting together games, like what to run at this shop or whatever. And me and Lacey were talking about different games to run and like what we were good at. Because I was like, we should run, like pick things that were suit your own voice or whatever. And I was like, why doesn't Kurt run Delta Green? Because when I think of games that you have ran for us at our table, when I think of the more memorable ones that like stick out, like, because like there's game, like, some games just, some days are better than others, whatever. And like the games that stick out in my memory are the Delta Green style games that you run. And because I don't know if it's just that's like, maybe like I like those games, but I think that's like where your own individual storytelling voice comes from.
So the rest of them just sucked, is
No,
what you're trying to
that's
say.
not-
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay. That's fine.
I like the
When you play to
homebrew
your
fantasy
strengths.
game too.
Yeah.
That was the
That was
best.
good.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I feel like the reason I didn't think of that one is because Kurt had ran One Ring, and it's not the exact same world, but it's both largely fantasy, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of in a similar genre. And I was like, I haven't ran like Delta Green or anything like in that Cthulhu vein in a long time. And I was like, what the deuce? Play to your strengths, dude.
I was in a GMing funk for the longest time. Now, I think I'm just about out of it now, but the other thing that I wanted to do was I had a Quiet Year Cold War scenario that I
was
kind of
really
worked
fun. That was
Okay,
really fun.
I've got it
like
fleshed-
Quiet Year is kind of fun, That made it better.
Yeah, well, sitting on the outside watching you run it at game, I was like, this is a really cool adaptation of a game to where it's not just Quiet Year anymore. It's sort of like evolved and become its own thing.
It's a core mechanic. I've stolen the core mechanic to the Quiet Year, and I've got the players as kind of the local civil defense council set sometime during the Cold War. And after all the first year occurs, or whatever it is, the war, this is the year in between.
But you also acted as moderator for a game that doesn't
not
really
really
have a moderator.
I think GM is too strong of a word. I think moderator is the exact right word to use.
Because when certain cards would come up, and I wouldn't know when they would come up till they came up, like I've got some civil defense bulletins that come out now. When you draw a certain card, a group arrives. Okay, maybe I'm going to be a little bit more heavy-handed. It's a hard word to use with it, but say this is the group, the motorcycle gang, let's say, that shows up, or these are the Cuban commandos that manage, or whatever it happens to be. I don't want to spoil it, and that's like for when we go to the game shops, that's what I'm gonna run next. Is I'm gonna have Quiet Year Civil.
It really worked really well. I liked it a lot. I thought it was cool
because we had talked before about using Quiet Year as sort of a map world building for a game you want to run. So if you want to have a specific theme,
that's exactly where I was going to go. I was like, it would be cool to
that direction.
sort of set up an RPG to put around that after that game or whatever.
If you have all that written up, you should definitely make it electronic and put it out there.
On our Patreon.
No, and that's
or on our Patreon.
And that's just it. Once I've got, because I've got the old veteran typewriter font and all the sort of, and the Cold War historical era is something when I used to teach at, the short time that I did, I liked doing because it was this great sort of moment of tension. What happens if that moment of tension actually explodes? I mean, because not everyone, let's say, dies.
Right.
And there's always some survivors, and here's this small community, and it's perfect because, the great bad has already happened. Now what happens?
Well, the other thing I think is interesting and kind of compelling about it is for a lot of people that are getting into RPGs now that we've seen at these gaming stores, the Cold War is sort of like what Vietnam was to me.
Yeah.
Because it's already passed for it's not part of their lifetime. You know what I mean? And it's sort of like this, I don't think nostalgic is the right word, but it has this sort of like mythos with it, this.
It's become a distinct historical period in which you can set something because it is now not only over, it's over and done with and gone.
Right.
But that's the one I want to.
There's so much I like.
It's a little bit mythical.
Yeah. Well, then there's like all like the 70s and 60s
influencing thing that you're not a part of. It's like outside of you, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's, some of us can still remember talking about it as an active thing. And if you lived in a big city when your social studies teacher put the nuclear bomb explosion radii over the center of your town and then, over the center of your big city and then one over Argonne National Lab and then one over Fermi and then one over the Nike missile site. And you just looked at it and you went, and that's only 4 of them dropping. Right. What's left. But anyway, that's what I want to run.
There's a cool website where you can do that. We did it to Matt Toon.
Yeah, it's pretty scary stuff. The other thing I want to do is I want to play 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. I have never played 5th edition D&D.
It's fun.
I have no idea how it even works. And I want to play Maid because I don't know how to run it. I've had the game for 3 years. I kid you not. I have sat down.
Just come here and not mention Maid.
4 years. I've had 3 or 4 years. I've had this game, and I have sat down on 4 or 5 distinct occasions to try and write a plot. And I stare at the screen, and I stare at the map of the mansion that I got, and I stare at the paper, and I go, I don't even know where to start.
All right, I'll run it. I have to borrow the book.
Done.
So I know I poo-poo on D&D a lot, but 5th edition is a big improvement over 3rd. And it's definitely much more in the vein of D&D than 4th was. But
that's not an endorsement.
I really thought the entire thing he was going to say is, I know I poo-poo on D&D a lot, but I'd rather play that than Maid.
That is true. That is true. But
I could still be surprised.
It's a good game. It's not what I would choose to run or play. I mean, I would sit down and be happy to play it. You know what I mean? But it's a big improvement from where D&D was in the 2000s with the D20 and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot better.
Yeah, because I've got this game group at the school that I do, and we've done Fate, we've done One Ring, we've done like this Tri-Stat thing that Craig Moser wrote a zombie RPG 4 years ago. I mean, we've done all these things, but I have never taught them or even shown them the modern D&D mechanic because I'm one of these people that until I actually see it run, I have a heck of a time, internalizing the rule set.
I have the starter kit.
Plus
Yeah, but I gotta
there
see it
are,
done. I gotta sit down and
D&D
play it.
actual
Isaiah
play is
Red.
like just out the ass. They're everywhere. Everywhere.
Oh, and then all the Critical Role and all that stuff is very popular. So it's
Okay,
it
yeah.
makes sense to bring
Yeah, I
it
just
to your
want to
gaming
sit
group.
down. Yeah, I just want to sit down in front of it, and and just be able to say, okay, so this is how it actually
At
works.
Gen Con, they do some intro to D&D stuff.
But last time I was there, I didn't sign up ahead of time. I didn't know it was there, and of course, if you don't sign up like 6 months ahead of time for that stuff, you don't get
Some
in.
of those, though, I think you could. It was just they had a shorter scenario where you could just sort of like walk in, basically. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah, no, that'd
it's
be
worth
cool.
seeing if you can track it down at Gen Con. So
And that's what I want to get. I don't have anything on my to get list for the simple fact that I don't know what's going on. The last time I really looked at indie RPGs is at Gen Con, and I haven't gone yet. I don't think I went last year. Did I go last year?
You were there
We
on
went for a
trade day.
I went there on trade day, yeah, but the thing. Oh, that's right, because things happened at work, and I wasn't able to make it to the rest of it, and so I don't know what's going on. So anyway, that's my want, have, need list.
Right. Well, as far as running goes, I don't do that very often. But at some point, I wouldn't mind running Aces and Eights. It's been a long time, and I kind of miss the Western game. The other one that I know no one here will actually want to play was kind of a D20 expansion from another company. It was OGL Ancients. It was gaming in ancient Greece with a little bit different
like
magic
Hellenistic
system.
or
Yeah.
right on.
Ha! I'd play that, and I'd be happy about it.
Well, then I will consider that.
Boom, done. I'd even come up with a real good Greek name that'd be hard to say. That'd be freaking authentic.
Like
So
Gluteus Maximus.
To be fair,
Greek. That's
Would be
Latin.
Roman.
the last time that I actually ran OGL Ancients was probably, 8 or 9 years ago, and we did have a Testicles in the party. So,
That's not okay. I mean, it's okay, but it's not okay.
Why is that not okay?
it was a pretty special game.
It's just because it would be special.
So that
There
would
you
be
go.
running-
Thank you.
As far as playing goes, I really want to play 7th Sea.
We cannot fault you for that.
Yeah.
It is kind of cool.
I can remember playing the original 7th Sea way back, when we were kids, and it was a good time. And I bought the book at Gen Con 2 years ago and haven't gotten to play it yet.
Right. So I ran 7th Sea in Terre Haute at our last indie game day, and I was having a good day running, and the scenario I had was an easy, great, fun scenario, and I could painfully feel the gaze of everyone staring at my back while you guys were over there playing Time Stories or whatever, and I was like, I know they're probably hating me right now because I'm running this, and
Hating you.
It was a famous victory.
I don't care.
I wasn't even there,
No.
and I hate you.
Yeah, because Kara's like, oh, you'll run it for them. Ah, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's not hate. That's jealous. That's jealousy and a little bit of bitterness mixed in. That's totally different. That's
Right.
totally different. It's a different emotion.
What I want to play on my birthday, if it's an option, I would really like to play a Ravenclaw game. I don't know where I'd have to go to do it, but I would do that.
Ravenclaw, like Harry Potter?
No, not Ravenclaw.
Ravenloft? She meant
Ravenloft.
I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, I was confused. I'm like,
Hang on, edit that out.
I'm pretty sure JD runs Ravenloft.
He
'cause
does.
Holly
He does.
loves it.
just
He
lost
does
all
run
your,
Ravenloft, and I want to go there and play.
just lost all your credibility. Ugh.
Whatever. I've been.
No, I get you. No,
Ravenclaw, Ravenloft.
I want to
What's the
play
difference?
Ravenloft. Okay. Somebody run Ravenloft, and not the whole go to the Castle Strahd 3.5 expansion. I want to play Ravenloft. I want to be scary. I want candles. I want there to be some weird sense. Lights down. Okay, so
Not that
I'd
hard.
also like to play Dust,
It will be.
Orpheus, or 7th Sea as well.
Orpheus, I've heard of this game.
Yes,
I ran Orpheus.
I know
We
it was
just
really
played
good, and I'm ready to
it.
play again.
It's in transit.
If it was my birthday and I had to run, I would say no thank you. Or I would want to
Evil?
run. No. Yes, I actually love running no thank you evil, but I do, but that's not what I was thinking. I would also like to run my D&D games. I love it. I'm good at it.
Is it
I
5th
get
edition?
compliments. No, it's 3.5. I'll run 5th for you. But I like running 3.5 because it makes me happy. And I got my best compliment ever as a GM the other day. Lee heard it, but I didn't. One of our gamer friends said he liked to play in my games because we actually do the storytelling part instead of just going and slashing and killing. And I was so
Stabbing the
happy.
beds of
I'm pretty
experience.
sure he's taking off of work to come play in my game. Boom!
Awesome.
Like, happiness. Or the romance trilogy. I would run that at home. That would be a lot of fun for me on my birthday. And then if you want to buy me a game that's an RPG, I would like any of the LOTFP stories, because not only do I enjoy running them, modules, I enjoy reading them, or anything that's ran by Apocalypse, because I have a couple of games that I've bought for myself to play and run, and I haven't read the book because it's too big. Clockwork Dominion. And also I bought Odom.
Do you mean Powered by the Apocalypse?
Yeah, sorry. My gamer credit's way low right now. I'm gonna go blow a kazoo.
Okay, you're fine now.
Okay, yes.
Lacey?
Okay. I want to play in Night Witches again. I know we have an actual play. I really don't care about the listeners. Screw you guys. I just want to play the game. I don't even care if we record it.
Good attitude.
It's a fun game. I like running that game a lot.
It is. It's super fun. And I like gaming with other people. Guys, hi. Hi.
It's okay.
Well, it's interesting,
I love you
and
all.
not to like
She means me.
the dynamic at the table is very different because it's me running it with 4 females instead of like, our
Bunch of
regular
stinky
group.
guys, yeah.
Well, and it's just the character voices are different at the table, and it's kind of interesting because the way they play off of each other is just different. It's just the same as having a different group of table. The way they interact and play off of each other is different than if it was the group of us here, playing. And it's just interesting to see, and it's different. It's fun.
I like the setting too. We're all, Russian
I
fighter
actually
pilots.
used
It's pretty sweet.
information
there
from
is
that game
a-
in conversation.
There is a Call of Cthulhu expansion called Cold Harvest. And it's a game set, it's a Call of Cthulhu scenario set during the Great Purges of the 1930s. And I read through it and I'm like, oh. So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
No, that's good.
I'm just like,
I'd also like to play Spirit of 77 again.
that was groovy.
I really want. I like your games, but I really want Kurt to run the trailer park game again. I know he has a hard time with it, but it's so much fun.
Yeah, because I'm like, it's just, I don't know. It's based, so it's kind of based on Trailer Park Boys, and a little bit, but I'm trying to do it without being terribly insulting. But I'm just like, I don't know. It was a weird setting.
It's good. It's good times. Just good old fashioned fun.
Right.
Running, I need to run Dread because we got the Onyx edition Jenga.
What's the Onyx edition
It's all
Jenga?
All
black and silver.
blocks.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I
need
happened
to
to
run a
find it
Dread
at Half
with
Price Books, so I was like,
When it falls, does blood start?
Why is it when I go to Half Price
don't know.
Books,
We
all
haven't
you got
done
are
it
old
yet.
like 3rd edition books and like junk? When you go there, like, oh, look at this, it's the Ark of the Covenant. I'm like, you only paid
So,
$10. How did you do that?
I almost fell
You
over.
go there 500 times.
So I went there the other day. Go figure. 501. And I went there and I walk around to where they have their gaming books and I looked and they had like half a shelf and I was like, what the deuce? Like, I was about to really have like a revolt in the store, and burn the mother down. And then I
Start
realized,
pushing over shelves.
well, I realized, they have all their RPG stuff set up to go to Gen Con because they have a booth at Gen Con every year.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, calm down.
Breathe. Just
No,
breathe,
not
James.
full on
breathe.
crisis
Yeah.
mode. Well, and then I found the Onyx edition of Jenga, so
Wow.
that was a good day for my Half Price Books pull. So.
God, I hate him.
So on my run/get section, there is some other scenarios that have come out for Bedlam Hall. So I would be interested in
Like play sets and stuff.
yeah,
Pretty cool.
getting those.
Did you see
and
that they
running
posted
them.
on Twitter they're running a long game with the people on Twitter, kind of? I think they're messing with people. And it's all going to be part of a game.
I mean, they're always messing with people, but
Monkey Fun is lots of fun.
Yeah. They monkey around with people in a fun way. That's
good
actually the
times.
name of the
Yeah.
company, I think. Yeah.
it's like a mission too. I think that
It's a mission state. It's
they
more
have
than
to
a
have more
company.
than one
Slash
person
mission.
running their Twitter.
It's a lifestyle.
They never sleep.
Anything else?
I want to play in more LOTFP. I kind of backtracked there, but I need to finish the maze of the Blue Medusa. And by
brought it.
finish, I mean play it every day and never leave the maze ever. I'm going to live there.
I brought it.
I'm going to take over a room.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's good times.
Lee?
I would like to play and own Genesis because I like it a lot.
It's on his. It's on his
very
to get
pretty.
it at Gen Con
It
list.
is.
They have
They'll
new
be there.
books.
I was messaging with them on Twitter and stuff, and they will be
New
there
war
again.
books,
Wearing all black leather.
I would
just like the rest of
also
us.
like to play Warhammer 40k, the RPG, the Dark
okay.
Heresy type, not the miniatures specific type. And I would like for James to finish his Ragnarok character so I can run Fate of the Norn.
I meant to do that last time we were
Is that
over
what
and you had the
we're
book.
waiting on?
Yeah.
Oh.
I meant to do it when we were
Get
somewhere
with
else,
it,
but
man.
I don't have the book.
I made it into. I brought the book the last 3 times.
I know.
He
I
didn't
was
bring it
here,
today.
and I forgot.
Are you serious? So because like the last time when you were here, you told me you had it, and I was like, cool, and I was doing something else, and then the book got put away. So then I like a fruit fly got sidetracked.
Same reason he's not running at Gen Con.
Yeah, it happens.
You didn't mention running Numenera yet. Is that coming? Should I wait longer
For what?
for things you want to do? Run.
She wants to run Numenera.
I have to know what happens when we get to the tree.
You will.
I only bought you that game because I wanted to play in it.
That's
something he got
for his
first.
character thing too. See, so now, yeah, doubly obligated.
Okay, I'll run that too.
Anything else?
That's all I can think of.
So, as we went around here, I thought about a few things. I mentioned I want to run to Genesis, but also Night Witches I want to get back to running. We don't have a game scheduled for that, and I really
Or
want to
for
get
this
back to
month.
it. I said we don't have another one scheduled.
We don't have one. This month is almost over.
Yeah, so
Okay,
We had
that's
like a
extra
day, but
bad.
then it didn't work.
yeah, I've got 2 more episodes though that will be released, and then I'm sure we'll have another game played and edited between now and then. So it should be good. We should be fine in that way. So we should be.
I need my fix.
I agree. I also want to play Bluebeard's Bride again.
Me too.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
There's a book of rooms too. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
I looked at it.
And it's just such a great game, and of all the games, like major memorable gaming experiences, that is a big one for me. I had such a great time playing that at Gen
My
Con
turn to
last
be on
year.
the
I
receiving
don't know if
end.
I'd call it a great time. I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, it's not good in like the traditional way that like playing 7C is good, but it's fascinating. It's like,
not good in a feel good way.
no, it's like a train wreck.
But so
No, I love it.
the thing about it is
You're waiting to see what
great.
car explodes next.
But so when I go watch a great horror movie, right? I have a great time watching that horror movie, but I don't go there like it's a different style of fun.
It's not like watching the first Iron Man movie.
I don't remember watching that. It's been too long ago.
Well, it's an
But
like
yeah.
action adventure,
Yeah.
swashbuckling.
So it's a great time playing that game. Also, I would like to actually get Itches B off the ground and run it.
Yes,
I
I bought that. I read it.
it's
I'm obsessed.
that
Run
one
it.
and
the
Bluebird's Bride are
comics.
like at Gen Con were 2 of the most memorable gaming experiences that I had at Gen Con. I would also like to run Warren. Had such a fun time playing that. That's the one with the rabbits.
Oh yes,
I know. I remember it. It's very uncomfortable. You just lay down and have labor.
You did way more than just that.
I was so afraid of the snake because I didn't know what it was.
I just popped out extra kids for it to eat, and then I ran.
It was a dark.
So weird.
It was a dark moment.
So bad.
My rabbit almost died from fear like 3 times. I was like so stressed out about it.
And then, as far as like things to pick up at Gen Con this year,
True.
I'm hoping to track down. Maybe I might get lucky and find. I should have got it last year. I should have got a copy of Maze of the Blue Medusa last year when it was there, and I didn't get it because you got it, and I've made a huge mistake, and I should have just got the book.
I still have it.
I know you do, and it makes me angry.
It's never gonna be there again.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. If I don't make it, Amazon is out of the Fall of Delta Green. If you see it, buy it. I will give you cash money for it
Right
as
on,
soon as I
okay.
see you again.
I'm charging double.
He's a handler's fee.
Oh, okay.
I touched it. It's worth more.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much at Gen Con. Really, I usually have a list that we go hunt for, but there hasn't been since we have a gaming store now in Terre Haute. A lot of stuff I have just sort of managed to pick up here and there. I got Unknown Armies, which is something that I wanted to get, and now I have the 3rd edition of that. I was going to pick that up at Gen Con, but
I think I'm going to get Baby Bestiary Volume 2.
I'm getting frostbitten and mutilated.
I've got that. That's it. That's it. Game.
I know, but I
Fantasy
don't live
Flight
there.
is doing L5R, and it's going to be there, right? I will at least go look at that book because I like what they did with Warhammer.
I won't wait in line to look at anything at their booth. Takes too
It does
long.
kind of suck. It takes a long time. to
It
get into
takes
the booth.
long.
They give you
yeah.
a game to do usually. Like they're really cool about it.
Well, yeah, no, they have good stuff.
heard
Don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's
like every time Lee and I have waited in line, we've gotten a game to do. Like
There was like a trade, like they
They're
remember
usually
they
out of prizes
you got
by
to
the
trade
time
the
we're
cards
rolling,
or whatever or something. and
almost
not
forgot.
doing that.
Has anyone here ever heard of Rocket Age?
yeah,
Okay.
Didn't you buy that?
Yeah, I did.
That's
I
the
didn't.
extent of my hearing about it.
is that a fate? System?
No, at least the one that I have, it's some other system. But I mean, it's
Is it
easy
the
to.
Fantasy Age system set in a different time period?
Oh, it might be.
Yeah, I think it is because it's the system I'm not familiar with, but the setting is the one. It's like a pulp 1930s
Rocketeer style.
like Rocketeer style stuff. It's no FTL in system, aliens in this system, Europeans and Martians and all this sort of. So it has kind of smacks a little bit of Princess of Mars kind of stuff, but very ray guns, Tesla coil.
Okay, just to push the obvious button, how is that different than Space 1889?
Well, the way it's different, and this is what struck me so much, it's the steampunk world, like it feels like literally 40 years later. It's just that technology evolved a little bit. And except there's a lot of aliens in the system. I mean,
Not
it's
seeing the difference.
it's got, to me, it seems like it's
Slightly different aesthetic.
it's
different
much more 1940s than like Space 1889 is a little more fantastical, steampunky.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more 1940s Rocketeer pulpy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, more. It's got more swashbuckle. I think is probably the best way I would describe it. The American Rocket Corps are called the Rocket Rangers. Yeah, and so and you've got your space Nazis and everything else, like legitimately actually space Nazis,
Right.
That kind of thing. And it's
Iron Sky style.
yes. Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Is it the aesthetic you get?
I don't know. I don't think so.
So it's definitely got an Iron Sky feel to it for the bad guys and stuff. But anyway, sorry.
You're good. You're good. Also on my short list of things to pick up, there are some new things that came out for Genesis, Black Atlantic, and some other things. So I'm planning to pick those
What's
up.
Black Atlantic?
It's it flushes out the area of the Britons.
Oh, for Degenesis. Okay.
for Degenesis, yeah.
Sorry, I just missed that.
Yeah, and so they have their own storyline that they're sort of telling through the books, and as they put out the books about the locations, it sort of advances their storyline. And the spore apocalypse, essentially, I think, is what is it's coming more again. So.
Okay.
I really want that to be called the Sporkalypse.
Sporkalypse. Right on. All right, well, hopefully if you guys are headed to Gen Con, we'll run into you there, and maybe this will give you some ideas of things to check out and some things maybe you haven't heard of. Just another reminder, if you are going to Gen Con, we'll be posting some things about us playing games and where we're going to be at Gen Con, and maybe we can meet up with you guys and play some games and have some fun. So,
okay, just a quick Gonna Geek promo here. All things good and nerdy. Episode 320, One from the Bathroom. Willie is live from an interesting location this week and is quick to share his opinion on the controversy surrounding the r/Thanos did nothing wrong. Meanwhile, Chris has the latest on Nintendo's issues with hackers on Splatoon 2, and Anthony has found a new comic called Die, Die, Die to try out. Finally, the guys talk about spoilers in regards to the Ant-Man and the Wasp post-credit scenes.
ooh, I haven't seen that one. I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you guys seen it?
No, I haven't.
But I think I know what spoiler they're talking about.
Ant-Man was super fun. I was like,
Yeah, no, it was a good movie. I like it.
Was it Paul Rudd? Mm-hmm. He is super good in that movie. He's so funny.
It is good. It is
so
a good
funny.
movie. I appreciated it.
Well, it's a different tone than all the other Marvel movies. It's just super fun. Didn't take itself too serious. Because, I mean, let's be honest, Ant-Man is ridiculous. It is a ridiculous comic. But it's, like, I like how they totally acknowledge it. And, like, the scene with the Thomas the Train Engine, I was like, this is epic.
Oh, Thomas, confusion and delay.
All right, so check them out on the Gonna Geek Network, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks for listening. This has been an episode of Just One More Fix. Music has been provided by Kevin MacLeod. You can find him at Incompetech.com. You can support us at Patreon.com/JustOneMoreFix or follow us on Twitter at Just One More Fix.